A very good evening to you. This is an English edition of Dalsan TV, Somalia's premier TV station. My name is Abdulrazak Ali, and let's have a look at some of our top stories. Somalia, UK inked down Memorandum of Understanding to enhance health services. Somalia's under-17 national football team created their loins for Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations in Algeria. Over 180 people killed in Sudan's skirmish, UN envoy Assad. Back to this edition of Dalsan TV. A memorandum of understanding was signed on Monday by the British Embassy and the Health Somali Ministry for health projects to improve maternal and child health services in Somalia.
A memorandum of understanding was signed on Monday by the British Embassy and the Somali Health Ministry for a health project to improve maternal and child health services. In the neighboring states of Jubaland, Galmudug and Banaadir, UNICEF will implement the Better Lives Project. Dr. Ali Haji Adan, the acting British ambassador to Somalia, and Lut Barrows, the country's Minister of Health and Social Welfare, both signed the agreement. The signing of the Memorandum of Association, according to the Minister of Health, is a significant step towards enhancing maternal and child health services in Somalia and is anticipated to contribute to life-saving efforts and improve the health of mothers and children. The Ministry of Health made important strides in the essential package of health services, which UNICEF recognized as progress. It also acknowledged the UK's government assistance as a significant donor to the Somali health industry. UNICEF further tweeted that the MOU sets the framework for collaboration on the next phase of bilateral UK support in partnership with the ministry to strengthen the health sector. This unfolds amidst UK appointment of Michael Nithavriankes as the new British ambassador to Somalia on Monday. Nithavriankes will succeed Kate Foster, who is set to take up another appointment within the diplomatic service. The incoming ambassador is expected to assume his new role in May 2023.
Players of the Somali national team under 17 have undergone MRI diagnostics to determine they are eligible to proceed to Algeria, where they will have to undergo the final MRI before being allowed to participate in the Total Energies Africa Under 17 Cup of Nations.
Players of the Somalia Under-17 football squad have today undergone MRI diagnostics to determine they are eligible before they proceed to Algeria, where they will have to undergo the final MRI test before being allowed to participate in the Total Energies Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations Algeria 2023. The MRI tests were conducted in Ethiopia, where the team arrived as they headed to Algeria. The results will determine the final squad list who will proceed to Algeria to represent Somalia in the continental event. Somalia will play the opener game against hosts Algeria on 29th of April. Somalia's Under-17 national football team won their first Council for East and Central Africa Football Association (CECAFA) title last year. CAF has released the full schedule of the Total Energy Under-17 Cup of Nations Algeria 2023. That will be played between 29th April and 19th May 2023. The three stadiums will be used: Nelson Mandela in Algiers, Shahid Hamoulouy in Constantine, and 19 May 1956 in Annaba. For the first time, Under-17 AFCON will feature 12 nations. The decision to increase the number of participants is in line with CAF's objective to encourage participation and offering more playing opportunities to young people. As the nation grapples with political instability and tough economic times, football has ubiquitously proven to be pivotal in providing a source of income to the youth, coupled with entertainment and integration conduit for the society as a whole.
Now, as the death toll from the fighting in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, surpassed 180, calls for an immediate ceasefire came from Washington and other international organizations, both military factions fighting for control claim to have made gains on Monday.
As the death toll from fighting in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, surpassed 180 and calls for an immediate ceasefire came from Washington and other international organizations, both military factions fighting for control claim to have made gains on Monday. Residents in Khartoum reported hearing fire jets and anti-aircraft fire after night fell Monday as the violence between Sudan's military and paramilitary force raged through a third day. Volker Perthes, the United Nations Special Representative to Sudan, told reporters by video link from Khartoum Monday that at least 185 people had been killed and more than 1,800 wounded since the fighting erupted on Saturday. Given that many of the injured can't get to hospitals for treatment, the number of casualties from the fighting is likely to increase. The fighting, according to a group of Sudanese doctors, also heavily damaged numerous hospitals near the capital. Despite regional and international calls for ceasefire, as diplomats mobilize, reports indicate that the fighting in the capital is unprecedented and could last for a long time. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Tuesday he had spoken with the two generals and underscored urgent need for ceasefire. Blinken made his calls while in Japan for a meeting of G7 foreign ministers, who also urged the warring sides to end hostilities immediately and ensure the safety of all civilians. The European Union's ambassador to Sudan was attacked in his home in Khartoum on Monday, the bloc's top diplomat Joseph Borrell said. A spokesperson told journalists the veteran diplomat was okay following the assault. Battles have taken place throughout the vast country and there are fears of regional spillover. Terrified residents of the capital are spending the last and holiest days of Ramadan watching from their windows as tanks roll through the streets, building shake and smokes from fire triggered by fighting hangs in the air. Earlier Monday, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged Sudan's warring parties to immediately cease hostilities. He warned that further isolation could be devastating for the country and the region.
Another 55 migrants were rescued in the Mediterranean Sea on Saturday, this time by the Italian charity emergency vessel Life Support, including 3 women and 6 children. The 10-meter boat was sighted in international waters near Libya after hours of drifting without an engine. Another 55 migrants were rescued in the Mediterranean Sea on Saturday, this time by the Italian charity emergency vessel Life Support, including 3 women and 6 children. The 10-meter boat was sighted in international waters near Libya after hours of drifting without an engine. The charity said they have been given permission to disembark in Marina di Caria in northern Italy, so they expect 3 days of sailing. The people rescued come from Ivory Coast, Egypt, Eritrea, Nigeria, Palestine, Sudan and Somalia. Meanwhile, the Italian Coast Guard said it was carrying out the rescue of a trawler in distress sailing with some 600 migrants near Sicily, after saving a vessel with 221 people aboard off the coast of Lampedusa, according to the United Nations. The first 3 months of 2023 there were the deadliest first quarter in 6 years for migrants crossing the central Mediterranean Sea in smugglers' boats. The International Organization for Migration documented 441 migrants' deaths along the dangerous sea route between Northern Africa and Europe's southern shores between January and March. Thank you so much for watching Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali and have a good night.